All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are doing good today. I got something here. It's from a channel called JT Breakdowns, and it's called How Michael Jordan Evolved as a Scorer. This is something I had on my list a couple of months back, but never got to, so it is time to check it out. This video came out a year ago, and yeah, JT Breakdowns, 15K sub channel. So if we like this one, it would help out a ton to go out and go subscribe to this. But I think this is going to be interesting because young MJ was he was pure attack. And he did have a jumper. His jumper changed so much when he got into his 30s. That jumper just looks like pure perfection. While when he was younger, he'd have the ball out a little closer and he would shoot a little closer to his head. But he made up for everything because he would outleap everybody. And outside of that jumper, like, he was just pure attack to the rim. So it's going to be interesting to see him, this video cover, how he went from that attacker, that slasher, to basically the best post player I think I've ever seen ever. So anyways, as I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description. If you want to watch this video without my commentary, feel free. Everybody else, please leave a like to this video. It helps out a ton. And let's do this.
Michael Jordan is considered by many as the greatest of all time. The six-time NBA champion never once lost in the NBA Finals. He started dominating right when he came into the league and continued to dominate until he retired. But what was it that allowed him to dominate his entire career? And how did he evolve his game to continue to get better as each year passed? Coming into the NBA, a skinny kid named Michael Jordan took the league by storm, averaging 28 points per game as a rookie. What made Jordan so special early on was his uber athleticism combined with skill that we had never really seen before.
Yeah, for sure.
Jordan had this ability to take off at almost any given moment and seemed to just soar through the air as he took flight. His game early on was very much so built around his athleticism. He could take flight off of either 1 foot or 2 feet for a dunk.
Yeah.
Jordan had this quick burst of speed.
Look at this real quick. Hold on.
Either 1 foot.
Not this one, but this one. Yeah. Look where he took off of 2 feet.
2 feet for a dunk.
Unbelievable.
Jordan had this quick burst of speed where he could easily drive by a defender, and once he got downhill, take off in an instant to rise up for a dunk. There seemed to be almost no setting where he couldn't take off in a second. Watch how he flies down the court, and if we pause right here, you would probably assume with 3 defenders around him and the angle he's at that this will end up in a layup. But instead, he quite literally just flies through the air and dunks it.
Yep, split him.
What was so impressive was that he could take off from these incredibly awkward positions.
You notice how often we see in these dunk highlights that MJ has 3 defenders surrounding him and he still gets to dunk off?
Taking off down the lane through 4 defenders, jumping off his left foot on the left side of the rim, and turning in mid-air to face away from the hoop with his back to the defender and throw down a one-hand backwards dunk over
sick.
him. This contributed to more than just dunks. He could attack, take off, and almost float in the air over the defense to lay the ball up. Just watch how he jumps off too and literally floats over the help side defender, adjusting his shot to finish the layup.
Okay, it's true. We give MJ praise for being such a great dunker, but is this dude the greatest guy at layups of all time? Because his layup reel, his layup highlight reel is it's actually, in my opinion, more impressive than his dunk reel. These kind of finishes still blow my mind to this day.
When he rose up to shoot, he could quite literally rise up over defenses to lay up the ball or get a shot off. When he attacked, he had this slithery driving ability that allowed him to just slide right by the defense and get to the basket.
Yeah, that first step.
Here he's being guarded by Dominique Wilkins, and he's able to rip right, just barely squeezing between Dominique and the out of bounds line, and gets in front of him to rise up for this dunk. For how young and athletic he was, he played with great patience and pace. Here he slowly dribbles off the screen, waiting for the perfect time to attack before attacking right by both defenders and getting to the rim for a layup. He knew exactly the right moment to attack, jogging up the ball, and basically accelerates with 2 dribbles right through traffic past everyone to get a layup.
Just recently, we reacted to the Game 6 1998 finals against Utah. And I can say, even at the end of his Bulls career, even at the very end, he knew going baseline, they can't stop him. So he was still unstoppable going baseline. What Utah had to do, because they know that, was foul him. And MJ used that to his advantage. So he kept going baseline when he was tired to get to the free throw line, because all they could do was hack him. It's either that or he's going to get an easy lay.
When he rose up around the rim, he had some great touch to pair with his athleticism. Jordan could attack down the lane, adjusting his shot in the air and seem unbothered. Watch how on this fast break, the defender wraps up Jordan. Yet despite being fouled and having the ball at his hip, Jordan is able to flick the ball up while falling away from the basket and still gently touch the ball off the glass and into the hoop. When you combine his touch with all his other athletic features and ability to get down the lane, it made for some incredible finishes. He basically combines it all here, patiently waiting to drive before turning the corner, sliding right past the defender, floating in the air as he takes off with the entire defense surrounding him, and floats the ball over all of them and makes it.
This is great.
We see a great example of it here.
I'm going to pause it right here. Oh, I already subscribed to JT Breakdowns. Never mind. I was going to just stop real quick before I forgot and subscribe, because this is good stuff.
He gets past the first defender, drawing 3 help side defenders where he floats over all of them as he adjusts his shot in the air and gently touches the ball off the glass as he gets fouled for the and one.
Yeah, and that's a glass backboard. It's not a wooden backboard. Like, for those of you who know, you know. To have that kind of a gentle kiss off of the glass, that high up on the glass, and it's not luck. He did it 1,000 times. I actually can't do that. I don't have that in my repertoire. I could never use the glass that gently.
This only continued to help him score throughout his career, getting more advanced throughout the years, ripping through, rising up, and swinging the ball from his left to his right hand, and then finishing the swing layup with his inside hand on the left side.
Beautiful.
As he got older, he became much more fluid on his attacks and takeoffs, taking off of one foot and throwing down this poster slam over the help side defender, and ripping past the defender and getting his hand right to the rim to avoid his shot getting blocked by the help side. But later in his career, he didn't quite have the takeoff he once had. While he was still incredibly athletic during his last 3 seasons with the Bulls, we can notice that he wasn't quite soaring through the air like he did in his younger years. Earlier in his career, a fast break like this would have just resulted in a dunk, but instead he jumps off 2 for a layup. Another example here where he gets the ball under the rim, and this used to result in him just rising up to dunk it, but now instead he opts for the reverse layup and doesn't really get as high off the ground. But this didn't hinder his scoring ability or dominance on the court. He found new ways to take control of the game. Later on in his career, he learned to use his body and play off 2 feet, learning to absorb contact on the drive from the defender while continuing to attack to get to the rim and take off in a more controlled setting off of 2. Off the catch here, he rips, jumps off of 2, absorbing the contact of the 2 defenders, and finishes the layup. Later on, Jordan had a much stronger frame, allowing him to absorb contact, drive through multiple defenders while jumping off 2, and still staying on balance to finish the shot. Compare this to earlier on, where he was much more likely to jump off of 1 foot for takeoff. Him learning to play more off of 2 feet translated in a game built more around jump shooting compared to athleticism. You can tell the jump shot used to be more of a last resort option, as he just continuously dribbled in place before realizing he doesn't have anything and just pulls the jumper. Another example here, he takes 1 dribble to his left, doesn't create any space, with his body not even facing the direction of the hoop, and jumps from this position to shoot the jump shot and makes it.
Kiss off the
Even
glass.
a deeper jumper like this in front of the 3-point line, he was only taking it the defense sagged off and allowed him to shoot.
Yeah, his mid-range game, 1,000 times better during the second three-peat than it was in his early career.
The mid-range jumper was the first step to the evolution of his jump shot,
Yep.
building his game around these mid-range pull-up jumpers where he rises up over the defense and shoots it over them, slowly adding moves like this hezzy into a hard between-the-legs step-back jumper, making some incredibly difficult shots in the mid-range as he takes 2 dribbles left, spins back right, and shoots this one-leg fadeaway as he falls down and makes it.
That's pretty.
In his last few years with the Bulls, he became much more comfortable pulling up for these longer range shots. This became a staple part of his game, shooting way more twos with range.
Yeah, in fact, when he was tired in that Game 6 in the 98 finals, I counted, I believe it was three three-pointers made in the beginning of the game. That was like all in the first quarter, too.
Becoming more comfortable shooting from beyond the arc with his catch-and-shoot jump shot, where literally a wide-open three beforehand might have caused hesitation to shoot despite being wide open. He even found simpler ways to get to his pull-up, as he changes speed to attack, then quickly stops to rise up for the jump shot before the defender can even get off the ground. Or using a one-dribble right, pull back to his left with a crossover to shoot the basketball, while still getting to his one-dribble pull-up, slightly fading back so he has enough room to get the shot off.
It's brilliant. Whenever he has a defender commit to his any of his actions, so like this, he's going to go right, and the defender's going to think he's going to penetrate, or he's at least going to commit to the right. But the second that this defender commits to this, that's it. Jordan pulls back because you can't stop. Same thing he did against Byron Russell in that shot. Once you commit, it's over. I'm stopping. I'm pulling up. And you're going to be like pretty much on the ground.
To his one dribble pull up, slightly fading back so he has enough room to get the shot off. This evolved into his post game, where the post fade became one of his go-to moves later on in his career. He became exceptional with this fadeaway jumper out of the post, using his body to back his defender down and then turn to shoot the jumper as he was falling away. He developed great patience with this, backing down his opponent, waiting for the perfect opportunity to turn into the paint and shoot the fall-away jumper. He would learn to use this off the drive as he attacks, makes a half spin fake one way, and then turns back the other way for the fadeaway jump shot. Early on, he didn't have as much of a post game, which is typical for younger players, not really using his body on this post up and kind of just turning and using his jumping ability to get around the defender to shoot.
Wow, that looked like young Kobe. Back when Kobe didn't, he wasn't mentored yet. So he's not even absorbing any contact with the defender with his back. He doesn't even know where the defender is. He's just doing these things automatic because this is what he does when he's practicing. But he's actually not doing this properly back then. He became the best I've ever seen at it. But it's interesting to see when he was younger. He's not even absorbing any contact to feel where the defender is.
Post up and kind of just turning and using his jumping ability to get around the defender to shoot. As he did develop, he wasn't using as much patience early on, quickly faking one way to shoot the other. Driving downhill just to stop, fake one way, and turn back in the other direction as he falls
That's still
away.
Sick.
Compare this to later in his career, where he was much more patient at using his body to back his defender down, before finally having enough space to flow into the post fade.
Yeah, when he was older, he's constantly feeling where that defender is, because he wants to know which direction am I going to go. Am I going to swing to the right or swing to the left, And then on top of that, he has to watch out where's the help coming from, which side is the help coming from, because he's got to fade the opposite end of that. And if those two things are in confliction with each other, he's got to get the ball out.
This under control pace and poise he played with later on was a direct result of the improvements of his handle. Early in his career, Jordan handled the ball in almost an awkward manner. We would see some slick moves like this with his hezzy into a triple between the legs then pull up jump shot, but he relied a lot on his quick first step to explode past the defender
100%.
as he draws a foul here.
Yeah, 100%.
And when he couldn't just get a burst of speed right off the first dribble, it might look a little bit more awkward, using these dribble combos that weren't the most fluid, until finally he gets down to the paint and throws up this ridiculous layup and makes it.
I know.
Even here, it almost looks like he's being instructed to do a cone drill. Take one dribble right, make a between the legs dribble, take one dribble left, and shoot the ball. Jordan never really developed a bag, but he had these simple moves to flow into to create off the dribble, using a double in and out on the fast break to get by for a dunk, attacking left, and then crossing over right, only to cross back over to his left to shoot a pull-up jump shot. You can tell how much smoother his moves got as he got older, going from between the legs hanging in the air, then using one quick crossover to rise up to shoot. Learning to be under complete control while creating space, crossing over from right to left attacking, then spinning back right as his defender tries to cut him off to flow into a jump shot.
Yeah, that's fundamental MJ. Fundamental MJ, I'll take fundamental MJ all day. It's not as fun to watch, but man, it's like time was slow. It was like the Matrix. Like time just slowed down for him, and he was so patient. And every time he'd execute a move, it was just like, oh, you saw that in your head before you did it, didn't you, MJ?
All of this led to Jordan dominating his competition. Younger Jordan's game was built mainly around athleticism with his speed and high-flying jumping ability. While older Jordan could still get up to throw down, his game was built more so off of pace, skill, and using his body to get to his jump shot. I'd say during his first 3 championships from 1990 to 93, MJ had the perfect blend of skill and athleticism. He was still incredibly athletic and could jump out the gym with some high-flying dunks, yet showcased a very polished skill set that allowed him to create off the dribble, finish at the rim, and get to his jumper. Regardless, he dominated his entire career, finding a new way to dominate as each year passed. Like Jordan, many other star players evolved their game to dominate throughout the years, which is how they became all-time greats. So if you would like to watch a similar video on how Kobe Bryant evolved as a scorer, click on this video right here.
I am gonna check that video out. That's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that video out. Maybe tomorrow even. That's cool. This is good stuff. Very accurate. JT breakdowns. If you guys are like what you saw here, yeah, go check out the channel. We're gonna do at least one more. I'll tell you that much over here. He was dead accurate. I don't have anything to argue with. Like, this was a good piece. Yeah, I agree with everything, because when MJ was young, it was so unorthodox, but he made up for everything with his athleticism. And then as he got older, the athleticism started to go down, but his fundamentals just skyrocketed to compensate. And that was the cool journey of seeing MJ, because he killed everybody in 2 different ways. You know, he played the game in 2 different styles. So that's when anybody says, like, oh, he couldn't make it in today's game. Y'all are crazy. Because this dude can adapt his game however he wants to win. Even he could have been a 3-point shooter. Actually, he would have loved being a 3-point shooter, because that's an easy job. I take it back. He would hate it because he doesn't want the easy job. But he would do it because he's got a great shot. He just didn't really take that shot very often unless he was exhausted, because he wanted to put the pressure on the defense constantly, keep them on their toes, make them earn it. So yeah, I think he would have no problem playing today, and I really enjoyed seeing his game transition from the 80s to the 90s there, and then even in the early 2000s when he was playing more of a, you know, it was like pretty much all post, and he was playing with muscle and fundamentals, and he became pump fake Jordan, because he had to do a lot of work to get shots off at that point, but he still played great. Anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was more for like the basketball purist out there, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Please leave a like to the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. I'll see you later for an After Dark. All right? Okay. Peace out, everybody. Thank you very much for watching.